Hi everyone. I'm going to be reading Harriet and George's Christmas Treat by Nancy Carlson. It was almost Christmas. Harriet and George were going shopping when they saw Miss Housett leave the grocery store. "Hi, Miss Housett," said Harriet. "Hi, kids," said Miss Housett. "No time to talk. I'm off to do my holiday baking. Now be sure to stop over later for a Christmas treat." Miss Housett rushed away. "Oh no, Miss Housett is going home to bake," said George. "That can only mean one thing," said Harriet. "Miss Housett is making fruitcake." "Remember last year when Miss Housett made us try a piece right in front of her?" said George. "Yuck! It tasted awful," said Harriet. "And I almost broke a tooth." "Remember when you dropped Miss Housett's fruitcake on your foot?" said Harriet. "Ouch, that really hurt," said George. "But it worked great for cracking nuts," he said. "I'll never forget the time we used the fruitcake to play football," said Harriet. "It almost hit your little brother," said George. "That was a close call," said Harriet. "Wow, fruitcake can be dangerous." "There's only one thing for us to do this Christmas," said Harriet. "Avoid Miss Housett and her fruitcake," said George. On Monday, when Harriet and George saw Miss Housett shoveling, they pulled down their hats so she wouldn't recognize them. On Tuesday, when Harriet was helping her dad put up Christmas lights, Miss Housett looked out her window. So Harriet ducked behind a bush. For the rest of the week, Harriet and George hid from Miss Housett. By Friday, they were exhausted, but it was worth it to avoid Miss Housett's fruitcake. On Christmas Eve, they saw Miss Housett invite Harriet's brother Walt in for a Christmas treat. "Poor little pup," said George. "Soon he'll be eating fruitcake," said Harriet. When Walt finally came out of Miss Housett's house, Harriet asked, "How was the fruitcake?" "Yummy fudge!" "Miss Housett made fudge this year?" said George. Before Walt could answer, Miss Housett opened the door. "Well, there you two are," she said. "Come in for a Christmas treat." "Okay," said Harriet. "Fudge?" whispered George. "I made a big batch of fudge this year," said Miss Housett. "Oh boy," said Harriet. "But I could never find you two. And my fudge is all gone. But don't worry, I still have a Christmas treat for you." "Last year's fruitcake! Eat up and Merry Christmas," said Miss Housett. Thanks for listening. Merry Christmas.